right, thank you, Salma and Phil. So one correction to start with. So I'm not leading product at Fantastic, but Commerce Tools Frontend. So we just went through a naming change. So want to make that clear for everyone. So if I say Fantastic, I actually mean Commerce Tools Frontend. So please correct me if I happen to say something wrong there. Composable commerce. I guess you heard those two words already. But in this session, we really want to dive into the trenches and figure out where to start. And with me on stage, I have Adeel. And I couldn't think about a better person to actually answer that question. So very happy that you're with me on stage today.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm super excited to share Flaconi's composable journey with you guys. My name is Adeel Younas. I am head of engineering at Flaconi. Before we jump into the journey and challenges, I would like to give a brief introduction about Flaconi. Flaconi is one of Germany's leading online retailer for the self-care products. Some facts about Flaconi. Flaconi have quite a comprehensive portfolio. We are currently partnered with more than 900 international brands, and we serve our customers with a catalog consists of more than 55,000 products, covering different categories from perfume, beauty, hair care, and accessories. We have 3 million active customers on our site, and last year there were 5.5 million orders placed on our platform. There are more than 700 people currently working at Flaconi with a lot of open positions still to be filled. And we are live in 3 countries, where Germany is being our biggest market, followed by Austria and then Poland. And we have a vision to help people lead healthier, happier lives through self-care.
And me and Adeel, we flew in yesterday. So Adeel from Germany and I'm from Sweden. And we decided to meet up at the fish and chips place. So, then Adeel told me, like, this is one of the best fish and chips places in London. I go, okay, how can you know that? Well, actually, I lived in London previously. And like, okay, that's interesting. So what do you miss about London? You remember what you answered?
I miss my youth.
I miss my youth.
I've spent the best time of my life in London. I studied here, grew up with friends. I still have a lot of friends. Some of them are here, and some of them I'm going to meet tonight.
Yeah, and but I think that the thing I'm also trying to highlight here that we've been working in the tech industry for quite some time now, and we discussed a little bit of the trends been going through and the ups and the downs, and I think also with composable commerce, and this is also something that Thomas referred to, that's not the solution to everything, and we are very much aware of that. I've been working with monolithic systems before. They have some really good things inside the monolithic systems. They're very well integrated. You should have a great UI on top of it. But there's also downsides to them. And some of these downsides you ran into at Flaconi.
Yes. Before we go into the downsides, I would like to share some background. Flaconi was founded in 2011. And quickly become one of the leading online retailer in Germany. It was not only the business that was growing, but also our customer expectations. And our legacy platform, which was based on Magento, was also heavily customized to keep up with all those expectations. If I have to put this in one term, our Magento became, in the end, a distributed monolithic app, which was very hard to maintain. And that was limiting our capabilities to bring value to our customers. Some of the prominent challenges that we were facing was slow time to market, lacking agility. Due to the nature of the monolith, our teams was not able to work independently. There were a lot of dependency overhead that they had to maintain. The technology was pretty old, and we were not able to integrate with the new tech or to experiment or innovate with the new trends in the market. And that was limiting our business objectives to be achieved. And that's what drive us. And given those challenges, it was very clear to us we have to do something, and we started to exploring the options in the market.
And I think the title of this talk already revealed, where this is leading. But can you tell me a little bit more why did you go the composable route?
Well, when we started, we wanted to do something in order to stay competitive in the market and continue delivering value to our customers. We were looking at 3 options primarily. The first option was developing everything in-house, which we were doing. That doesn't seem to be aligning with the objectives we wanted to achieve in the short term, as well as in the long run. That was bounding too much resources on the standard components that does not differentiate Flaconi from others. So that was out of the way. The other option was to find all-in-one solution, but that also doesn't align with the way we wanted to work and grow in future. Third option was to go in composable, to pick best-of-breed solutions from the market, use them as a Lego block, make what we want, and serve our customers. That was better aligned with our strategy or business growth, giving us flexibility to extend if we need in future. Also, if we outgrow the tool, it was very easy for us to replace.
Okay, cool. So you decided on Composable, and then I imagine that there was this big bang release after 1 year, 2 years, or how long did it take?
Well, when we started this journey, it was, there were two things that we didn't want it to do. We didn't want it to compromise on the business continuity. So ensuring the business continuity, no matter what approach we take, how we roll out, we wanted to ensure the business continuity. And we also didn't want it to go big bang. Because when we started the journey, Flaconi was already a leading online retailer in the market. So we started with a small team. And the mandate for the team was to pick best-of-breed tools from the market, either build it or pick from the market, which does not only solve our current challenges, but also put us in a path that we can stay competitive in the market and continue delivering value for our customer in the long run. And slowly and gradually roll out all the markets. And while rolling out the market, gain speed and confidence, and also ensure that our internal stakeholders, the processes that we had internally, people were relying on the legacy platform, should also be onboarded over the period of time. So in 2019 Q4, we started with a small team with a mandate of building a platform that help us to stay competitive and grow in future. In Q3 2020, we were able to launch our smallest market, which was Poland, with a reduced number of features. And then in Q2 2021, we were able to launch our Polish website on the new platform. And Q3 2021, we were able to launch our biggest market, Germany. In between, given the architecture or the structure of our new platform, we were also able to power our mobile app in different stores.
All right, and we've seen a few different architectures already. So Thomas shared one from Hilding Anders, and let's dive a little bit deeper into what it looked like before you went about this change.
Yeah, I wanted to share this to give you a sense how it looked like when we started. So you can see we have a Magento admin, database Magento, but most of the Magento was customized. So we built a lot of services around it, and you couldn't say that it's Magento anymore. And in order to support the speed and the performance of the site, we put a lot of caching layer in between, which was separated, which was serving to our front-end as a back-end as a front-end service, and then that was serving the pages to our website, to our customers. The main thing to note here is everything in red. So everything in red was completely developed in-house. We were maintaining it, we were developing it, and these are the things which was costing us time and bounding resources for us. And with the new platform, we replaced roughly 60% of in-house development with best-of-breed solutions in the market. We use Commerce Tool as our headless backend. We use Commerce Tool frontend as our frontend. We use Algolia that power our search and recommendation, contentful headless CMS. And now I can easily say we are more focused on developing the product features for our customers rather than maintaining the in-house, the legacy platform. With this headless architecture, we were also easily able to launch our mobile app in different countries.
And I think it's interesting to look at this architecture because, and as already been discussing, some things, they're not really showing in terms of the complexity, but for sure behind every e-commerce site today, there is a lot of complexity. So I think I've been working with this for too long, so now whenever I go and shop something, I'm always thinking about what's really happening underneath. And I wanted to zoom in a little bit on the actual front end here. So you can see the box that says Commerce Tool front end. You also have a design system in there. So that's actually quite a small part of this overall solution. But it's also one of the things which now in this new world of the best-of-breed world and composable world, it needs to take care of many different things. And if you look at the front end today, these are the 4 requirements that Flaconi were looking at, and also something I see many other companies really want to get from a good front end. So on one hand, the first one is a given, so fast delivery. And this one is easier said than done. And you've been working with e-commerce, and you know that performance is not something that you get it and you have it. It's something that you constantly need to improve and iterate on. There's new things coming, and you need to look at different metrics. And it's one of these things to always be on top of. But the front-end platform really need to enable developers to be able to do those optimizations. The second one, and this is something also when moving from the monolithic. So once again, one of the benefits with monolithic platforms, they usually had quite good UIs for business users. Moving into the headless world, that has been a little bit development-driven. It's slowly now starting to catch up and also provide good tooling for business users. But this was one of the main things also Flaconi was looking at. And then the third one, developer-friendly toolset. So developers today, I think they're a bit spoiled. I remember 20 years ago when I was working as a developer, I didn't have it this easy. Weren't that good tools. It wasn't that easy to just deploy it to the cloud. And so on one hand, thank you Netlify for making it much easier. But also, once again, developers, they should go back in time and see how hard it was. But of course, the front end needs to have that amazing developer-friendly tool set. And then the fourth thing, and that's of course in this composable world, it needs to be designed for headless. If you have a front-end product that's locking you into a specific backend, that doesn't make sense. So it really needs to work with any APIs, both in terms of reads, so fast delivery, but also in terms of posting things or whatever, doing a checkout and similar things. So fast delivery, empower business users, developer-friendly tool set, and design for headless. These were the main requirements coming in from Flaconi when looking at the front end. So let's have a look at what the Commerce Tools front end provides. And another thing with the front end, I said earlier that this can easily turn into the new monolith. And the reason for that is actually quite a lot of things that the front end needs to take care of. The front end have the context of the user. So lots of information about the user, the context on where they're at, that needs to be fed to different systems underneath. Everything from personalization to analytics, A/B testing, ERP systems, etc. Everything is going through the front end. And that's why it's so important that the front end have a good orchestration layer. So that's what you're seeing at the bottom of this illustration. So in Flaconi's case, they were connecting to three major services in the beginning. So it was the Commerce Tools backend, it was Contentful, and it was Algolia. So commerce, content, and also search. And if you have that orchestration layer, it's also easy for you to add other services in the future, as well as potentially replace any of the services that you're using without you having to rebuild the components. So that's the next layer. For the components layer, it's of course very important that it's based on the standard framework that the developers know and love, but also that you can easily connect it to your design system. So you've been working with Storybook, and there's other design systems there, but I think the components layer really needs to facilitate that collaboration between design and design system and the components, which is then adding logic and intelligence to your building blocks. On top of that, it's the management layer. So this is really how can we make sure that business users can work independently of developers, and to carry out specific tasks in terms of changing landing pages, changing the checkout flow to maybe fewer steps, doing A/B testing, and similar things. So important that the business users is not having to file Jira tickets to developers or similar, but they can do these tasks themselves. And the other thing is the collaboration. So the collaboration, when new components needs to be developed, that they can do so with real content, and the business user can actually try those out during development. And then the last part, so at the top of this illustration, is of course that fast delivery, including deployment of new updates. So this is exactly what the Commerce Tools front-end stack look like, but I think this is also something that if you planning to build this yourself or potentially using a different service for it, these are the layers I think you should be looking for. So now we know a little bit how you got started, what the architecture looked like before and after, but how did you measure success?
Well, measuring success for us, some of the key things that we can easily spot, that we are faster in time to market. With the new tech stack, modern tech stack, with the progressive web app, we can provide a better shopping experience to our customers. We also see extensibility is quite an important factor for us now. We are able to easily integrate with the other options and tools in the market. One example, when we launched our Poland and Austrian site, we launched with the search provided by Commerce Tool. But then we established what we need in Germany will not be fulfilled by Commerce Tool. So we were easily able to integrate Algolia given all the stacks that you shared, without impacting or affecting anything in any other area of the website. We also see with this loosely coupled architecture, agility and autonomy between teams is much better. Teams are able to work independently and more efficiently independently. And the solution, the other important thing that we see, the solutions we picked were not only built keeping end user in mind, but also internal users in mind. And they were providing a lot of guidance to our internal business stakeholders to stay efficient and improve the internal processes to stay up to speed and continue delivering value for the customers. And in the end, our developers now are more focused on developing the features that are needed for the customer rather than maintaining the stack or the legacy architecture. These are some of the benefits. Other than that, we also see we are much more flexible in exploring new markets, new channels. One thing I did not mention, after Germany, we were also able to launch in France, which was just last month. And we are also experimenting quite a lot with the different areas within the industry. And these are the benefits that we see now, but the big benefit we see is we are on a path, on a journey which will help us to stay competitive and will give us the flexibility to extend or modify the system as the business grows.
And this is also one of the aspects which I really love about Composable. I think on one hand, growing into Composable can be a bit challenging and complex today. And I think this is where the whole Composable ecosystem needs to start making more improvements. So how can we, really faster time to value, quicker to grow into a Composable solution. But the absolute benefits then of the Composable solution is that you're not growing out of it. And compared to the monolithic approach, where it was usually quicker to grow into, but you grew out of that solution faster, and that was then the main challenge which many companies are now sitting in, that they're locked into that solution, is not able to expand, grow into new markets as they would like to. Are there any other final learnings? So if you would do this again today with everything you learned during these 3 years, are there anything you would do different?
I think we took our time to get started with. You can see the journey was spread over 2 years. So we did a lot of research. We considered a lot of cases to keep up with the business and continue delivering the customer value while developing the new platform. Starting small, putting the proof points and working and gradually releasing is something that I will advise, and that worked very well for us.
Okay, cool. Hopefully this was insightful for you and you had a few learnings yourself. We're happy to also do Q&A offline after the session during the day, so thank you.